There is a new twist in the battle to treat Kansas private high schools differently in sports than their public counterparts.
We first told you about this controversy a few weeks ago when 41 Action News investigator Andy Alcock spoke to a private school coach who now has his own plan.
The coach we spoke to acknowledges private schools may have advantages when it comes to athletics, but he also says many public schools do as well.
High school sports in Ohio are built on the values of competition and school pride, but the current system doesn't provide a level playing field between public and private schools. Private schools, which make up only 28% of Ohio's high schools, have consistently dominated state championships. Since 2010, they've won 80% of Division I football titles, an overwhelming share that reveals a deeper problem in how athletics are structured. Public schools are restricted to enrolling athletes from their geographic district and can't offer scholarships. In contrast, private schools can recruit from anywhere and provide financial aid to attract top talent. This recruiting freedom gives private schools a major advantage from the start. Jeff Crocker, an athletic director at Jackson High School, which is a public school, explained that while public schools can accept out-of-district students who pay tuition, they cannot offer any scholarships. Meanwhile, private schools can, and do. This difference helps explain why top athletes often end up at private programs, increasing their odds of success. But the advantage isn't just in who they can recruit. Private schools also tend to have better funding, access to donors, and fewer restrictions on how money is raised and spent. That means better coaches, facilities, and off-season training, all of which give athletes more opportunity to develop. Even the OSHA's 2017 rule allowing schools to move up divisions hasn't solved the issue. In many cases, private schools voluntarily move up divisions where they think they'll have an easier path to a state title. In Crocker's example, Jackson High School has lost to several of these schools in postseason play, and even when they win, their next opponent is often another private powerhouse that wouldn't even be in Division I if not for this rule change. It creates a cycle where public schools are continually at a disadvantage. Just a few private schools account for dozens of championships. St. Edward has won 67 OSHA state titles, including 25 in wrestling. St. Ignatius has won 47 titles and has taken 6 straight boys soccer championships. Hawken dominated girls swimming for over 2 decades. These aren't occasional wins. They're dynasties built with more resources and recruiting freedom than most public schools can ever access. In a recent survey of Ohio student athletes, 33 out of 44 agreed that private schools have a competitive advantage. The survey was split between public and private school students, which just shows how even the private school kids believe that they have an advantage at their school. That's a majority of student athletes across both schools recognizing the same imbalance. So what's the solution? The best path forward is to separate public and private schools into different postseason playoff brackets for the OSHA state championships. Regular season games can still include public versus private matchups. Those help teams grow and prepare. When it comes to crowning a state championship, the competition should be fair. Right now, many public schools are entering tournaments at a disadvantage before the first whistle blows. Separating playoff formats wouldn't punish private schools. It would simply acknowledge the reality of their built-in advantages and give all athletes a more balanced and honest shot at success. In the end, Ohio high school sports should reward hard work, dedication, and fair play. Every athlete deserves the chance to compete for a championship on equal terms. It's time for OSHA to recognize that the system isn't working and take the necessary step to separate public and private schools in the postseason. Only then can we restore fairness and protect the integrity of high school sports in Ohio.